So we're going to be taking our jasmine plant here. It's doing alright, but he's doing pretty good in this plant there, but we're going to wick him using some yarn for knitting and just a basic pot that has some holes in the bottom and this little drip basket here. What we first want to do is we want to brought some pieces of wood out just to kind of keep the basket from sitting down in the water. So that way it kind of sits on top of the water. We don't want it sitting on the water after we wick. We want to have all the water stay off of the pot itself. So I'll feed my yarn through the holes inside of here. Pull a bunch down. Coil it up underneath here. This will help us draw the water up inside of the plant as it sits. That way the yarn will sit in the water, the plant will have the water inside. So then we want to put a little yarn in the base so that it wicks up through there. Take a little bit of our soil, put it around the base, inside of there. Now this soil is very dry, so we're going to put a little soil in the base, sprinkle some water in there, get it moist, let it moisten up a little bit. Then we'll take our yarn and now that the sides are kind of damp, we can almost stick the yarn to the sides of the pot and it'll stay where we want it to stay. That's why I use the knitting yarn, because it's really soft and sticks to my hands. So we run up around inside of the pot a little bit. Add some more soil. Probably better to have the soil damp before you do this. Now loosening up the plant here, getting him ready to get transplanted. Tamp it down so that he stands up straight. rest of our string around the inside here. Take some more soil. Well, first we'll throw some water on the top of there. Get them good and damp. Got that. We'll top it off. Tamp it down a little bit, not too tight. I'll let the roots grow around. Now the roots of your plant will actually wrap around towards that yarn, because that's where all the water is going to be. So they will actually go to the yarn and probably intermesh with it. So that way, they'll get all the water they need when they need it. They'll take what they need and they'll ignore the rest. So a lot of people think plants are dumb, but actually they're not out to kill themselves. So plants will take what they need and they'll ignore the rest. As long as they can get away from it, they will protect themselves. So there, now we have our plant set up. It's going to be jasmine when it finally starts growing again. It's doing pretty decent. It's getting a little brown on some leaves. That's why I decided to try to maybe plant it for the Wicking experiment here. I used this wood that I had just cut some off of a table recently as just some particle board. I just figured I'd use that for the base, get it up off the ground a little bit so that the yarn can grab the water and pull it up easier. Add a little bit more water just to give it a little bit of a head start, because you know the plants get a shock when you move them like that, so to prevent them from being too shocked, you let them get a little bit more water. Now you can use more or less yarn if you want. I just tried this little piece here to see how it does compared to my other plants here don't have any yarn at all, so just see how they do or how this does.